With an update on a contract situation and more, this is Wrestling Rambles, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Going over the reason Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes after their match the other night, Ringside News wrote that WWE Saturday night's main event ended with chaos as Kevin Owens unleashed a brutal post-match assault on Cody Rhodes, leaving the undisputed WWE champion stretchered out. But while the shocking moment left fans talking, the unexpected angle wasn't just for show. It had a strategic purpose. The post-show attack was crafted to bridge the gap between Saturday night's main event and next week's SmackDown. WWE wanted the live crowd to experience both Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in action, while also setting up content for TV viewers. The footage from the attack is slated to air on SmackDown, accompanied by a backstage segment featuring Owens, ensuring that the storyline momentum carries through seamlessly. Owens' ambush also sparked an intense confrontation with Triple H, who stormed out and confronted the former Universal Champion. After ripping the title belt out of Owens' hands, the two exchanged shoves before referees stepped in to separate them. The tension between the two has already ignited speculation about whether this will lead to more fireworks in the coming weeks. This post-show chaos proves WWE knows how to keep fans on their toes, blending live event drama with TV storytelling for maximum impact. Whether it's Kevin Owens ramping up his aggression or Triple H stepping in to restore order, the tension is just getting started, and fans can't wait to see how it all plays out on SmackDown. Showing off behind-the-scenes footage of his arrival in Game Changer Wrestling, Chris Jericho posted this video to Instagram. Going over Liv Morgan's Money in the Bank cash-in, Ringside News wrote that Liv Morgan is opening up about the emotional night that validated her journey. In a candid chat with Kenny McIntosh of Inside the Ropes, Morgan reflected on her monumental victory at Money in the Bank 2022, where she not only won the iconic ladder match, but cashed in on Ronda Rousey the same night to secure her first WWE Women's Championship. "I was overwhelmed in the best way," Morgan shared, describing the whirlwind moment she defeated Rousey. "I did not come from a wrestling background. I don't have a famous family. We did not have the funds or money to train. I was not a Division I athlete, so I knew that this was going to be a long journey for me." Morgan's cash-in came after Rousey defended her title against Natalya. The shocking victory, achieved in under a minute, became the culmination of years of hard work and sacrifice. To be in Las Vegas, to win the coveted Money in the Bank match, to cash in on Ronda Rousey, and win my very first ever championship in WWE was really special for me. The moment wasn't just about the win. It was about proving to herself and the world that she had earned her spot. It was a surreal night. Everyone's journey is different, but I just knew how much work and dedication I had to put into my journey. Nothing was given to me. I had to earn every single thing that I ever got here. Morgan also reflected on the feeling of validation after such a high-profile win. I just remember looking into the audience with my jaw to the floor, holding my new championship, and being like, wow, I just can't believe that I made my dream come true. In that moment, it was the biggest feeling of validation. It took my breath away, because there were a lot of moments in my career where I was very unsure if I'd ever have that moment. Beating Ronda Rousey just took my breath away. Speaking to Phil Fresh, Grayson Waller was asked about celebrities competing in WWE.
I've got a list here, and I want to get your read on them.
Okay.
As to whether you think they have what it takes to make it in the ring, or be a flop.
Sure.
Do you reckon Travis Scott has what it takes to become a wrestler?
I think he does, because he's obviously a big fan. Some of these celebrities you get in don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You can take advantage of that. You can really beat them up. But if Travis knows what he's doing, and hardcore title means he's not afraid to use weapons.
A couple months ago, I spoke to fellow Aussie WWE superstar Big Bronson Reed.
Yep.
And he revealed that he's the Guy Sebastian guy. So how do you feel about Guy Sebastian?
Looking at Bronson Reed, you know, he looks like a Guy Sebastian guy. Oh, come on, man. Are we being realistic here? I'd beat up Guy Sebastian. Angels brought me here to kick your ass, guy.
What about Shannon Knoll then?
Shannon, I want to tag team with Shannon Knoll.
Because
me and Shannon Knoll down at Northies throwing punches.
Last and certainly not least, me, Phil Fresh.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Like in a minis division, like we brought the micro wrestlers back, or are you talking about like real?
No, I was thinking just the.
Well, you know you're wrestling, so that's an advantage. You don't know what a gym is, so like unfortunately that's going to make things a little bit more difficult.
You don't know that.
You're a great talker, obviously.
I'll take that.
Maybe you could be my manager.
I'll take it.
There we go.
And that is how we become best friends.
Damn it! It's done a
He's
circle.
done it. He's done it.
When it comes to the streaming rights of WWE PLEs, Ringside News wrote that WWE's premium live events are a staple for wrestling fans, streaming exclusively on Peacock. However, the deal with Peacock is set to expire in 2026, and TKO CEO Mark Shapiro believes WWE's next streaming move could involve multiple suitors vying for their content. Speaking at the UBS Global Media and Communications Conference, Shapiro discussed the growing appeal of WWE's PLEs. The PLEs are seeing significant audiences. The marketing around the events has been terrific. Shapiro emphasized the unique appeal of PLEs, noting they provide both high-quality and high-premium content in manageable monthly doses. There are a lot of platforms out there looking for premium and volume, but even a smaller subset, still enough for us, are looking for low volume but high premium. That is exactly what the PLEs are. Shapiro added that WWE's once-a-month format makes it a perfect fit for streaming platforms aiming to boost subscriptions or align with specific launches. We can schedule it with our partner, depending on what is the strategic interest to them in terms of sub growth, broadband growth, a new series they're launching, or a new event on the ground, he explained. While WWE will begin conversations with Peacock in early 2025 about renewing their deal, Shapiro hinted they're open to exploring other platforms. We're interested to talk to other suitors. They know that, by the way. WWE's next big streaming deal could shake up how fans watch their favorite events, with top platforms potentially battling it out for the prized premium live events. Whether they stick with Peacock or move to a new home, one thing's for sure. Wrestling fans won't want to miss the drama inside or outside the ring. While speaking on the Developmentally Speaking podcast, Matt Riddle addressed the abuse allegations that had come out during his main roster debut, with Ringside News saying, Matt Riddle revealed that his debut on the main roster was particularly challenging because it coincided with a public controversy. Matt Riddle was accused of sexual abuse by indie wrestler Candy Cartwright on the same day as his SmackDown debut. Riddle referred to being Me Too'd, as he described the accusation as false and unfair, which cast a shadow over his arrival. Riddle noted that his new colleagues had likely seen these accusations online, making it awkward for him to connect with them. Riddle explained how hard it was to deal with people judging him based on things they read, especially when it overshadowed his wrestling career and childhood dream of joining WWE. Despite this rough start, Riddle said that over time, his hard work and consistency helped him gain respect and change people's opinions. As his coworkers got to know him and saw how things unfolded, they started to understand him better. He also mentioned that many wrestlers have faced similar challenges, which helped create some mutual understanding. Riddle talked about how disappointing it was to have his debut, a match against a legend like AJ Styles, overshadowed by these accusations. Wrestling in WWE had been his dream since he was a kid, and this moment was supposed to be a career highlight. Instead, it became bittersweet because of the horrific struggles he was dealing with. For me, when I came up to the main roster, damn, the day I debuted, I got Me Too'd. It was garbage. But at the same time, imagine walking into a locker room full of legends and established people, and they've just read on Twitter or the internet that XYZ happened. Then they meet you, and it's like, oh, and you're just standing there like, I didn't do anything. But they don't know that. It was just awkward. Over time, though, as people got to know me and saw how everything played out, it was cool. They understood. A lot of the guys and girls have been in similar situations, you know? And to think, my whole life, I'd been working to get to WWE. As a child, this was the dream. This was the goal. And then I wrestle AJ Styles, and something horrific like that comes out. I was like, oh my God, all those meetings we had, everything they warned me about, it was true. People will do this. Matt Riddle eventually addressed the accusations and denied them, but definitely came as a shock for many, as Riddle's former tag team partner Pete Dunne was utterly disgusted by the allegations. While making an appearance on Our Universe is Mental with Jimmy Jacobs, former WWE writer Michael Lenardi discussed being fired over writing a promo with Ringside News stating the reason for his dismissal? A controversial promo rewrite that still haunts him to this day. The segment in question involved R-Truth, Titus O'Neil, Mark Henry, and Neville. Scheduled for Martin Luther King Day, the original script called for Neville to reference Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s iconic I Have a Dream speech and tie it to his hopes of winning the Royal Rumble. Lenardi decided to tweak the line, a decision that reportedly didn't sit well with Vince McMahon, leading to his firing. Reflecting on the incident, Lenardi shared, I only have one recurring dream, and it's about going back to WWE. It's always similar, seeing people I know and feeling that unresolved energy. For so many years, I felt ashamed that I got fired. But recently, I've realized I didn't do anything wrong. I did my job. I protected the business. Lenardi, a lifelong wrestling fan who idolized Hulk Hogan and fell in love with storytelling through wrestling, called his time with WWE a dream come true. However, he described his firing as absolutely ridiculous and admitted it left a lasting impact on him. I walked out of Return of the Jedi when I was 4 years old and said, this is what I want to do. Tell stories. Working as a writer for WWE was a blessing, and to have it ripped away for reasons that are still hard to comprehend, it leaves unresolved stuff. When asked what might bring him closure, Lenardi said, it wasn't about going back but rather seeking acknowledgement. To me, it's a conversation, maybe with Hunter, Triple H, just someone saying, Mike, you didn't do anything wrong. You did your job. I've moved on, but for people to understand, that would mean a lot. During an edition of his one-of-a-kind podcast, WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam talked about wrestlers stealing each other's move, saying, I'm going to help everybody in the business by making a new rule, which you must comply with. So I'm using my leverage that I've earned in my position in this industry to make this rule that you all have to apply. And it's going to make the business better. It's going to make it good again. And the rule is you have to stay in your own realm. I watch all these botch spots on Instagram, and nobody's perfect, but there's so many. And the reason is, and that's why a lot of times I repost them, because it's people doing that's not in their realm. And I'm making a rule right now that you have to abide by, okay? If you suck at something, don't do it. If you're not good at a move, don't do it until you're good at it. So now, when we see these things with a weak little chair shots, and we see somebody no-selling or big space, there's no contact this, and that it's because everybody tries to do everybody else's moves, and it's stupid. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should not be doing power bombs. If you weigh 400 pounds, you should not be taking a 360 bump when you get clotheslined, all right? People have their realms, and it should be just like in life. You learn the foundation of wrestling. If you spend enough time in wrestling school or at that beginning stage of your career, if you spend enough time learning the actual fundamentals of wrestling, you wouldn't have time to be walking on the top rope and doing Hurricane Ranas.